Well, I appreciate everything for being here with David for Creative Ladder. Um, Tell us about Creative Ladder so that I don't have to explain it.
Creative Ladder is a 501c3 nonprofit. It was launched this summer at Cannes Lions, the advertising festival.
Okay.
And it was co-founded by three people: myself, Deanna Dorsey Calloway, who's our CEO and just incredible lifestyle brand CEO and founder, and Ryan Reynolds, the actor and producer, who also owns an ad agency called Maximum Effort, and he's become a much bigger advertising figure in the last few years. And three of us just share a real passion for making creative industries more inclusive and accessible. So we created Creative Ladder.
All right, definitely. So what are we doing here at Adweek this week?
We are at the Brand Week conference in Miami, hosted by Adweek. And it's I believe the first one back in person since before the pandemic, so that's very exciting. And this is one of the most premium, if not the most premium brand marketing event in the country, one of the top events in the world. I worked at Adweek for 15 years. I'm very proud of what we've built with Brand. I still say we, even though I'm not with Adweek anymore, but Brand Week is such an incredible event and just really unbeatable access to leaders throughout the creative industries.
Excellent. What kind of support are you getting from Adweek with this? I mean, not what kind. I see you getting a lot of support with your affiliation with Adweek, with having Creative Ladder here. How does that feel, the support that they've given you for this endeavor?
I mean, I would say that if you've ever left a company, if you work somewhere for a long time, I think a lot of people say, oh, you'll always be like family. And then you leave and that's not the experience. They don't really keep up with you. They don't really, kind of stay connected. Adweek has been the exact opposite, the best kind of scenario. That the day I told them I was leaving after many years, they said, we want to support you. We want to partner with you. Have to do it as soon as possible, preferably at Brand Week. And we immediately began planning the Brand Week Leadership Academy, of which you are a member.
Yes, I am.
And bringing folks from Miami, bringing folks who represent a really inclusive group of rising marketing leaders, and getting all of us together to have really important conversations with some of these VIP CMOs that are speaking this week.
Definitely. So tell us, yeah, I know, but tell everybody who the leadership council or leadership group we've spoken to, some of the executives that we've had lunch with that you brought in.
Yeah, so there's 8 folks, including yourself, in the Leadership Academy, and each day we use the lunch break because that's really the only time Brand Week doesn't have programming going, so we don't want to take people away from the conference. But during those lunch hours, we bring in some really incredible leaders. We had Linda Lee, the CMO of Campbell's, and yesterday we had, remind me, who did we have? We had Kaylin Thornton, the CMO of Gatorade.
Yes.
And then today we had a real packed house. We had Keith Dawkins, the president of the Harlem Globetrotters, who has just an incredible media background. We had Juliette Morris, CEO of Adweek, who runs this entire conference. Yes. And we had Claudia Chibui, who works at Telemundo as their SVP of Creative and Marketing. I mean, there was like so much between the three of them and each of you. I've honestly maybe never had a more impactful conversation and been a part of it.
It was, I mean,
such a phenomenal conversation.
It was goosebumps. Everybody was amazed at that.
Yeah.
So what do you see after this? What's the next move for Creative Ladder and then going forward?
Well, we were just getting started. This is our first real activation, first real program that we've launched. That said, we've spent the last 3 months really developing quite a few different programs. Essentially, our programming focuses on one of 2 areas. One is student outreach, just letting young people know that these jobs exist, that these career paths exist. You have a really phenomenal backstory as a self-taught creative, and the truth is, people like Ethan should get support from day one. You shouldn't have to learn everything yourself. You shouldn't have to carve out things the hard way. It's made you who you are,
yes,
which is an incredible creative.
Thank you.
But you deserve support along the way. And the number one thing we hear from people, especially people of color who get in the industry, is no one told me that these jobs exist. Like I would tell people, oh, I love editing video, I love doing this, and they'd say, oh, you should be a lawyer. You should. It's like people don't point people to creative careers. And you end up with this homogenous group. So student outreach is a big part of it, but then the other part is finding people that are rising talents in the industry and giving them the leadership training, giving them the access to VIP players in the industry, everything about this industry and your growth begins with access, and we are an entire organization built around expanding that access to more people who deserve it.
Excellent. Two final questions. Question one: how, if somebody out there watching this wants to get affiliated with Creative Ladder, how would they do that, and what does that process look like?
That's a great question. You can go to creativeladder.org, which is our website. It's creativeladder.org, and you can donate, which is always fantastic. That money helps us, create more opportunities to offer this programming. But I think most popular is you can sign up to learn more about our programs. We're about to launch a weekly newsletter with career advice. And that is helpful hopefully for people at all levels and different creative careers. And we're going to be sharing opportunities as they come along. A lot of our opportunities are going to be in person. They're going to be small. They're intentionally small so that these conversations can happen and people can be vulnerable. But at the same time, we want to be accessible. And so we'll be creating virtual events that are open to thousands of people. And so you can go to creativeladder.org and sign up just to learn more.
Excellent. Second question. It's a general personal trivia question. When do you push for your Uber? How far in advance do you request your Uber? Do you wait till you get downstairs, or do you request it?
I am definitely a get to the sidewalk and then call them.
Okay.
I think it's because I spend so much time in Manhattan where if there's a cab there, I'll probably still just take the cab. But yeah, for whatever reason, I'm always afraid that I'll get stuck in the elevator and they'll just show up and drive off. So.
All right. Thank you again, David.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. And everybody, Creative Ladder is an amazing organization. I'm glad to be working with them here at Brand Week, and I will tell you more. There'll be a link in the bottom of the LinkedIn profile for David as well as Creative Ladder. So, brand on, everybody.